So what's the story behind Dazed and Confused?
So I live in Houston, Texas, and I've lived here my whole life. And I became an actor and decided I was going to live here. I lived for a little while in LA and didn't have any success. And matter of fact, the only acting job I got while I was in LA was back in Texas. So I had to come home for that. I really just, wanted to work and make a living. And, Texas is a lot easier to make a living than California, economically speaking, anyway. And so I came back to Texas and auditioned for this movie called Dazed and Confused. And it was a wild experience. It was one of the coolest auditions I've ever done. I didn't realize that the guy running the camera was actually Richard Linklater, the director, because he was this, young. I mean, I say young. Back then we were all young, but a little older than I am. But he was in a t-shirt and blue jeans, had long hair, and looked kind of like a PA, not the director. And there was this other guy, Don Phillips, who was older, had white hair and a sport coat and blue jeans and cowboy boots and a nice press shirt. And I was like, well, this is a guy in charge. And it was like, he could not have been further from the, right on that. But anyway, it was a great audition, had a lot of fun, and ended up getting cast as the beer delivery guy. And I think part of it was I was a little older than the most of the other people. So, maybe me pulling a high schooler student would have been kind of a little tricky. But anyway, I got cast as a beer delivery guy, and I like to call it the small but pivotal role in the movie because it changes the trajectory of the storyline, after it spoils the party at Pickford's house. So they have to figure out another game plan. But had a great time, shot in a day, went up like a Tuesday night, shot on a Wednesday day, and actually drove home. I probably stayed up there Wednesday night, and partied and stuff, and then came home Thursday and just, it was a lot of fun. And, then I became part of this iconic film that then, of course, what was really cool about it is later on I started auditioning. I was auditioning for other movies, and they'd see on my resume that I was in Dazed and Confused. And, a couple of times they're like, I would audition. And they're like, oh, hell, you got the part, dude. You're in Dazed and Confused. I was like, all right, well, I like where this is going. So anyway, it was a really fun experience. Richard Linklater was a great director to work with. And, I'd love to work with him again one day if he'd ever have me. But it was just a blast.